all for being present here today for the inauguration ceremony of the 6th edition of AMTECH. We are really humbled and really excited to have the presence of Shri KT Ramarao ji, Honorable Minister for IT, Industries, MA and UD, Government of Telangana, as the chief guest, and Shri Jayesh Ranjan ji, Principal Secretary, Industries and Commerce and IT, Government of Telangana, as a special guest of honor on this occasion. We are also privileged to welcome our guest of honor, Srimati Ramadevi Lankaji, Director, Emerging Technologies, IT and Communications Department, Government of Telangana, and Shri APVS Prasad ji, who is the Chief Executive for Airworthiness at CEMILAC. So I invite all of you to give them a very warm welcome to all our dignitaries, and I request all the dignitaries to come to the stage, and on the behalf of the entire additive manufacturing fraternity, we offer you a warm welcome. So with that, we have our dignitaries today on stage, and I'd like to keep my welcome very short. Just a couple of points. Why AMTECH? Because we started AMTECH as a small sapling, where with an aim to kind of build the entire AM ecosystem, get the various stakeholders together, and create a conducive environment. That's what's the aim behind creating AMTECH, which is today an interesting ecosystem where all the additive manufacturing players are present. And the second thing is why Hyderabad. So when we started, creating this event, when we planned it in Hyderabad, we had a lot of questions on why we are doing it in Hyderabad. And a couple of things which came out to me is, one is the dynamic environment which is there. It's always buzzing, there's a lot of energy, and also the hunger for growth. And this is driven by the state and by KTR Garuji. And this is why one of the reasons we chose Hyderabad, because the energy and dynamism is what is needed by additive manufacturing industry as well. The dynamic nature and hunger for growth is very important for industries to adopt this technology. So before we move into the inaugural address, we have a few important announcements and MOUs releases to be done. So we would like to do them in the presence of our dignitaries today. To start the proceedings, I invite Dr. Ram Prabhu from CEMILAC to take it forward.
Thanks, Dr. Aditya, respected dignitaries. So we have three important announcements on behalf of CEMILAC. The first one is MOE signed with ASTM Singapore. Indeed, it's a historic moment for the CEMILAC, in fact for DRDO as well. It is the first time in CEMILAC history, under the able leadership of our Chief Executive CEMILAC, we enter the MOU with the prestigious standardization body, ASTM Singapore, in the field of metal additive manufacturing. For machine qualification, material qualification, AM process and post-processing and part qualification. May I request C. CEMILAC from CEMILAC side and Alex from Adopt the Advanced Manufacturing Program Asia Region ASTM rep to come to the dais. Alex, please. Sir, already the MOE is signed, sir. Announcement is on the development of a AM part, which is airworthy certified by CEMILAC. So it's indeed another feather in the cap of CEMILAC. I take privilege to announce the release of the certificate, airworthiness certificate for the first AM pod, aluminium pod, selector wall body, mission critical pod for the Western Transport Aircraft for our country. This work was undertaken under the able leadership of Sri APVS Prasad, Chief Executive Semilac, and Director Materials Dr. Kale, and Regional Director RCMA Foundry and Forge, Mr. CM Bhuneshwari. And it is very important to note that these all the important activities, especially the documentation activities, has been completed in record time of 15 days, and most importantly, the total development and testing and certification time, if you look at it, it completed in a record time of 4 months. So you can see that the potential of this technology to help our Indian aviation industry. So to put it very simply, the total certification time we have taken from the PO placement from HAL Lucknow to the certification handing over is just 4.5 months. So that's the significant of this work. And looking at the technical side, so what advantage additive manufacturing gives, if you look at it, the properties of this part is at least 15 to 20% higher than what was existing, like the part which was developed by the castings. So that's a brief about this, the second release. So may I request to our Chief Executive Semilac and Director Materials and PA and Regional Director CM Bhuneshwari and the Wipro side representative Mr. Raghuman, and from HAL Lucknow side Mr. Girish, DGM Design, to come to the dais.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our last announcement from Semilac, the present Chairman DRDO, erstwhile Director General Naval System and Materials DRDO, constituted a committee to formulate the approach and methods for additive manufacturing and its certification methodology in order to optimize the certification cycle time during indigenization of military materials for aeronautical applications without compromising the quality and safety aspects of the platform. So this committee was headed by Dr. Shirish Kale, Materials, Director Materials, Semilac, and Mr. S.K. Jha. He acted as a vice chairman for this committee. Dr. Ram Babu from RCMA Material, who acted as a member secretary. And we have, to make a meaningful report, what we did, we have judiciously selected the committee members from various AM organizations across India. And this report was swiftly prepared in a record time of 1.5 months. So may I request the following members to come to the dais to have a ceremonial release of this document. Chief Executive Semilac, Dr. Shirish S. Kale, Director Materials, and Sri S.K. Jha, Sri Aditya, in fact Aditya also is one of the members, and Sri Saurabh from NCAM, Ram Kumar from Director from INTECH, Priyesh from Director from Imaginarium, Sri Dr. Ankit Sahu from Managing Director Objective 5, again Raghuman from Wipro 3D, Raghuman, Ramesh Kumar, Scientist Staff from DMRL, Dr. Ram Babu from RCMA Materials, and finally me. No problem, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Over to Aditya.
Thank you, Dr. Ramprabhu. Always good to see a stage full of AM enthusiasts and AM. It's always good when the stage is smaller for the AM industry as it grows. So may the stage grow and may the industry grow as well. Uh, so, education and skilling is very important for AM to grow. And NCAM and IIT Hyderabad are doing something in that direction. Uh, NCAM is established by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, and the Government of Telangana in partnership with the industry. It is conceptualized with the vision to create and enable a sustainable ecosystem for product innovation in India, with emphasis on research, design, development, and testing through collaborative efforts between academia, industry, and government using the disruptive technology of additive manufacturing. IIT Hyderabad, as all of us know, is a premier institute of science and technology established in 2008. IITH has been consistently ranked in the top 10 institutes in India for the engineering according to NIRF, making it one of the most coveted schools for science technology in the country. The scope of this MOU is exploring offering joint degree courses on additive manufacturing, primarily focusing on working professionals. The courses designed are going to be unique and one of its kind offered in India and globally. It will have the potential to attract larger global audience. To conduct skill development programs like faculty development programs, workshops, seminars, professional development programs for the industry, students, faculty, startups, and government officials. So with this, I invite Professor Murthy from IIT Hyderabad and Professor Surya from IIT Hyderabad on behalf of Professor Murthy and Jaspreet Sidhu, who is CEO of NCAM, to release MOU.
I'm the team innovation, sir, at IIT Hyderabad. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, we have a MOU. Exchange. You could hold that together. Okay, I think we'll just not open it. Yes, sir. And I also take care of the startups at IIT Hyderabad.
Thank you. And now we start with the inaugural address. And to start with, I'd like to invite Srimati Ramadevi Lanka ma'am to address the audience. Srimati Ramadevi Lanka is the Director, Emerging Technologies and Officer on Special Duty at the Information Technology and Communications Department, Government of Telangana. Her pioneering work involves formulation and implementation of policy frameworks for the state that would create a conducive environment for the growth of emerging technologies and assist the government in leveraging these technologies for better governance. I invite ma'am.
Honorable Minister. Hello? Hello? It's better. Yeah. Honorable Minister for Municipal Administration, Information Technology, Electronics and Communication, Shri KT Ramarao Garu, respected Principal Secretary Jayesh Ranjan Garu, then Prasad Garu, Executive of CEMILAC, Aditya from AMTECH, Jaspreet Sidhu from our own CEO from NCAM, representatives from different industry organizations, from academic institutions, exhibitors, both from India and across other countries such as Singapore, Turkey, Russia. A warm welcome and a very good morning to all of you. Well, I'm really happy to be here again because if you all remember, because I see some of familiar faces who were actually present, almost 6 months back in the month of May, I think, when we organized this national conference on, medical devices and dental implants using 3D printing. It was a huge event, and I see most of you, who were there earlier too. Really happy to see you again here. I was just when I was coming in the morning, I was just remembering, when did we actually start working on NCAM? Additive manufacturing or 3D printing. It was almost 5 years back, when I just joined ITNC department. It was my second presentation to you, I think, sir. Like we kind of identified what should be the emerging technologies that the state should focus on. So 3D printing was one such technology. It was 5 years ago, but at that point of time, we were focusing on how to use the technology within the government. And later, we actually expanded it to improve the ecosystem. So at that point of time, to be honest with you, we were not sure how to go about it. But today, 5 years, later, though it's, still I say we are at the right moment, here. And today, we see an industry that's actually growing at a good pace, and the demand in India, being demand for additive manufacturing projected in double-digit billions of dollars. So, so when I was thinking, I felt, I recently read a book. I mean, it's an old book actually, by Paul Coelho. The title of the book is Alchemist, which says, if you really want to do something or achieve something or really, want something in your life, and you yearn for it, the entire universe conspires to actually make it happen. I think today that's what I feel when I see, though we are at a modest, growth rate, but still this is the beginning, I think, And thanks to the AM industry for taking that initiative and being here. Well, coming to the challenges of the additive manufacturing industry, while most of the research reports project excellent growth, maybe as I said, around more than $60 billion or something. But still, when we talk to the industry, they always say, there's not enough demand within India, So, and as Aditya was also mentioning earlier in his speech, and the kind of MOUs that we have seen, the challenges are evident. One is, of course, most of the MSMEs, they're not even aware of this technology. So, that's one area where NCAM is really working hard, and with the partnership from the industry. So, skilling is an imperative, that we need to take up. Skilling, creating awareness. That's one. Second is affordability. While, the machines and all of you know these challenges, but still I'm just listing out from the user's perspective. So affordability is one because machines are expensive, materials are expensive. So how do we make it available to the small companies, medium-sized companies? That's one area where maybe innovation need to happen, within India. The third one I see is, identifying the right parts for the design. Again, as an industry, you know it better. Like all parts are not amenable for 3D printing, right? So that's one area where it's not deep research, but at least a little bit of research is required to identify the right parts for different industries. While these are the challenges, of course, these are challenges related to the domestic front. When most of the startups, what they're saying when they really want to export, well, certification is one of the biggest problems. So thanks to CEMILAC for actually addressing that problem, CEMILAC and of course NCAM. That's one of the biggest problems that the industries, especially small companies and startups are facing, getting certification. A few startups were saying, though they're actually producing best-in-class products, they're not able to export because of lack of certification. So that is being addressed. I'm really happy about that. While these are the challenges that we are looking at, another challenge is material, of course. And many users with whom I spoke to, one regular complaint is that when the material gets over, they need to import from other countries. Since some of the materials come under restrictive category, there's so many regulatory, hurdles. By the time they get the material, the production is delayed, everything. So that's an area that needs to be addressed. So while this is related to the export, to the larger, maybe NCAM will also work with the regulators to see how it can, smoothen the process. While we're looking at these challenges, well, the opportunities are also immense, and limitless, I would say. The other day, I think it was on a Sunday, I was just browsing Netflix, to watch something. And I saw this title, Future of Health. And it was written 3D printing. So since we are working on this immediately. I wanted to see what it is actually. And I mean, it was very kind of fantasy, I would say. So, but there were two parts to it. The first part, of course, most of you might be know, like about 500 billion people are constantly waiting to get organ implants, and some of them, they do not even live to actually receive that transplant. So, and some of the transplants that are done, 50% of them are rejected by the body, it seems. So scientists are saying, if suppose I need a kidney, they would take out tissues from my body and develop this. Using 3D printing, they'll structure it, develop in a lab, and see if it can be put back into the human body. That's one area where extensive research is happening. And if it really materializes, it really saves lives and also, great opportunity for the industry. That's one aspect of it. But the second most one, which is a bit bizarre, I would say, So even that show what it says, right, that actually manufacturing these products, what if these products are available and if we really want to upgrade our bodies, say I reach 60 years old, but I want to really work, and I want my heart to be something like a 25-year-old. So can I just take that part and upgrade my body? It was really bizarre. And so, do you want to live 100 years, 150, something like that? In fact, the show also says like, Elon Musk and Peter Thiler of PayPal and Larry Ellison of Oracle, they're investing huge, big money in developing technologies, anti-aging technologies. Maybe that's a big opportunity for the 3D industry. That's one. Second, of course, defense, as Prasad Garu has already indicated, defense is one of the area that has huge potential. And in fact, I just want to share this experience. Earlier February, we went meeting different companies in the additive manufacturing, and we also went to DRDO office in Bangalore. So those scientists were showing us, they showed us one small part, which is 6 inches size, I think. What they told us was, when they buy missiles or defense equipment from Russia, they perfectly work for 1 year. Post 1 year, the problems start. And they were showing one part which actually cost 60 lakhs to get it from Russia, which they developed with less than 10 lakhs. That's a huge potential that we are looking at defense. And the third one is space, of course, all of us are aware, the happenings in space technology, where rockets, satellites are being manufactured using 3D printing. The fourth one, again, I was reading this article in Business Standard, which says, it talks about urbanization. Again, Minister, is Minister for Urban Development. So it seems every 3 months we need to actually create a city like New York to meet the housing needs of the growing population. So that's the kind of opportunity that's there in the construction sector. Again, if you actually have to build so many houses, the only answer is technology. Again, additive manufacturing technology. So I would say, the opportunities are limitless and huge, and we are at the right time, Nevertheless, India has been, India has been slow in this technology, but nevertheless, we are at the right time, and of course, at the right place, which is Hyderabad. I would say, a great ecosystem, and of course, a great leadership sitting in front of you on the dais. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, a warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for taking out time to be part of today's platform. And Aditya, when actually 6 months back, when he came to me, he said he wants to partner with NCAM. I said, if you're going to actually have this in Hyderabad, we'll be very happy. So this is the first time, AMTECH is actually organizing this in Hyderabad. Many a times it was Mumbai or other cities. Hope we'll actually, replicate this kind on a larger scale next year. Thank you once again. And I just happened to notice one thing, which is not related to additive manufacturing. There are very few women in this group, So maybe the industry need to push a bit on inclusion and diversity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And as you mentioned about next year, with the experience we've had for AMTECH this year in Hyderabad, we've already, decided and booked the place venue for next year for first and second. So we were so happy with, the experience we've had at the venue and the, ecosystem, the warm, experience here. I think we're really happy to grow this and take it forward in Hyderabad itself. So I just wanted to mention that since you brought the point out. So to move on, now I'd like to invite Sri APVS Prasad ji to share his insights. Sri APVS Prasad ji heads the Center for Military Airworthiness and Certification CEMILAC under DRDO, Ministry of Defense, as its chief executive. With close to 3 decades of experience in R&D of avionics systems for UAVs, he is currently spearheading the airworthiness certification of all development programs of national importance, from military aircraft, helicopters, and UAVs to airborne stores, integration of weapons and indigenization. He is also an active advocate of additive manufacturing. Sir?
Respected Chief Guest, Honorable Minister for IT, Sri Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary, Sri Ramadevi Garu, Director Emerging Technologies, and all my friends from the industry and technocrats, and all the dignitaries on and off the stage. A warm good morning to all of you. It's a matter of great pride and honor to grace this occasion. Additive manufacturing, I call it as a sunrise industry in the modern manufacturing technology, especially for a country like India, where scale and economy are two critical parameters, and the availability of powders, machines indigenously is a major challenge. And all these enabling factors can be in place only if the certification agencies are proactive in nature rather than reactive and joining at the end of the product life cycle development. So we at CEMILAC thought to fast track this total life cycle of design, development and certification, we should concurrently do handholding to the industry at the beginning stage of this new technology. So in this direction, we have taken some baby steps, and last 3 years, courtesy ASTM and other friends from the industry, we could successfully certify some indigenous powders, and now we are in the process of certifying indigenous machines, sir. This will address your concern that import of the powders and machines. So first time we are doing it concurrently. Earlier, CEMILAC was involved only at the end when you have a purchase order from the government. Now we have rewritten the rule. Any industry from the country on a NCNC basis, you can walk into CEMILAC and demand our services for certification. We are ready to do handholding right from T equal to 0, sir. That's what my promise is. So I understand a few years before, certification has been a major challenge because of various reasons. And we brought a lot of reforms and restructuring at the CEMILAC. And in this direction, I am announcing we are launching a e-portal, e-certification, madam, irrespective of the location of the industry, because currently CEMILAC is not available at all the places. India being a huge geographical country, we are located at only 12 places, mostly around aerospace industries. So now we are making it e-certification wherein you can do the entire workflow of certification online. We are planning to launch on a pilot basis next first quarter of the year, and towards the end of the year, once all the industry's inputs are taken, we are going to make a formal launch of this e-certification. Second thing is the aerospace, defense industry and medical. One critical factor in both these is safety. So the role of certification is to ensure design adequacy and test adequacy. And especially in a new infant technologies like AM, the test adequacy is of paramount importance. Least to say the amount of test facilities we have in the country, I think we should invest in a larger scale in this test infrastructure. Otherwise, the testing requirements in additive manufacturing, we have done a guesstimate, it calls for 200 to 300 crores investment in this test manufacturing. Because when in the additive manufacturing, the statistical spread in the properties, the knowledge base and database is currently is suboptimal, I'll rather say, in the country. So we have to invest in a big way in terms of human resources and financial resources to upgrade this available facilities. And it's a matter of great pride for me. Sir, thanks for gracing this occasion. I think seeing senior bureaucrats and ministers from the government shows the passion and conviction with which they are supporting this sunrise industry. It gives us a lot of confidence, sir. Thanks for gracing the occasion again. And it's a promise to all the industries and technocrats. Certification agency will be doing handholding to you. And we have a website now. Any issues, any concerns of you, we can send online requests. And I promise you, we have been upgrading and updating our human resources and technologies and all the things, infrastructure. And we'll be there for you to do handholding and ensure we'll all be together successful. Thank you. Jai Hind.
I would now like to I would now like to call upon Shri Jayesh Ranjanji. Shri Jayesh Ranjanji is the Principal Secretary of Industries and Commerce and the IT departments of the Telangana government. His assignment involves developing policy frameworks, attracting new investments, identifying opportunities for utilizing information technology in the various government processes, and promoting digital empowerment of the citizens. An IS member from the batch of 1992, he also supports many social, cultural, and charitable causes and is on the boards, advisory committees of many of them. Jayesh.
Honorable Minister for Information Technology, Mr. K.T. Ramarao Garu, my colleague Ramadevi Garu, Dr. Chandravarkar, Sri Prasad, dignitaries, invitees, guests, media. First of all, greetings to all of you for making this AMTECH Expo a very big success. In fact, I have been told that people had to kind of stop taking more bookings for stalls because there has been such an overwhelming demand. So many visitors are expected to be here over these 2 days, and lots of domain experts are going to discuss the latest advancement of knowledge and technology in this wonderful world of additive manufacturing. So I'm very happy that the organizers have decided to continue this event in Hyderabad for the next year also. And hopefully between now and then we will be showing much more in Hyderabad, the prowess of AIM, the prowess of this new type of technology in our ecosystem. As was pointed out, we have the privilege of hosting the National Center for Additive Manufacturing here in our city, in our state. Roughly about a year has gone by since NCAM has been functional. And in this short span of 1 year, their achievements are multifold. Ramadevi Garu spoke about skilling, and again I'm very happy to share that this is one of the key priorities for NCAM. They have conducted multiple faculty development programs, they have conducted webinars for students, and looking at the way this technology is emerging, I'm very confident that maybe in less than a decade, this could be potentially one of the biggest job creators, employment providers, and more than that, it will attract some of the most brilliant minds in the tech industry, because the possibilities of using additive manufacturing are limitless. Ramadevi Garu pointed out on how human organs can be kind of repurposed or recreated using additive manufacturing. In fact, last Sunday, I read another very fascinating article in a newspaper which suggested, and actually this work is happening in a couple of places, that food can be manufactured, food can be printed. The food that we eat can be printed using additive manufacturing technology. And imagine if we are able to perfect this particular aspect, how much of global challenges of hunger and poverty, etc., can be addressed. So this is definitely a technology in which we should really place all our bets, all our support. And as many of you would be aware, Telangana government is at the forefront of promoting the use of new technologies, and additive manufacturing definitely is one very important priority area. As I said, between now and the next year's AMTECH edition, we want to ensure that the Hyderabad ecosystem evolves much further. I'm happy that certification facilities are being set up, new MOUs, new partnerships are being entered. But one area where I will personally take lots of interest and try to give that push is to use additive manufacturing in more and more of government work. So wherever we see opportunities of applying some of the opportunities of AIM in different government agencies, particularly engineering divisions of the government, we'll be very happy to push that forward. And I appeal to all the domain experts. I see lots of startup representatives here, people from academic institutions. If you have come across some use case which can be tried out within the government systems, we'll be very happy to champion it and show to everyone how to really make best use of this technology. So once again, grateful to all the participants of this expo, of this seminar, and hope to remain connected with all of you throughout the year and then see you again next year same time. Thank you very much.
I'm sure now for the moment, I'm sure all of you have been waiting for. I'd like to invite Shri KT Ramarao Garuji, the chief guest for this occasion, to address the audience. Shri KT Ramarao ji is a dynamic and pragmatic leader, as we know.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you very much for this introduction and for inviting me to this event. Dr. Prasad, the director of CEMILAC, my colleagues from the Department of Industries and Commerce, Principal Secretary Sri Jayesh Ranjan, Srimati Ramadevi Lanka, who heads the Emerging Technologies Division, to all the distinguished audience here from various parts of the country and from various parts of the globe, I welcome you to this beautiful city of Hyderabad and to this event, AMTECH, the Additive Manufacturing Technologies event, which is the largest additive manufacturing expo in India. I thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules and joining this event. Today's event is, I'm told, graced by more than 100 industries, 100 plus industries from India and abroad, 50 plus startups and 15 plus national research and development institutes, and more than 3,000 people dropping in and attending this event over the next couple of days. I hope it has been exciting for everyone to attend this expo, because while walking into this conference room here, I've had the privilege of looking at a couple of products which seemed extremely promising and exciting. The technology with respect to additive manufacturing has matured from rapid prototyping to fully finished final functional components for strategic sectors like aerospace, defense, MRO, medical devices, etc. As you're aware, Telangana in fact is one of the youngest and one of the fastest growing states in the country. We recognize ourselves, we keep referring to ourselves as the startup state of India, and the state government has always been a very key supporter of innovation by our startups, by industry, and even by our academia. In fact, as a testament to the commitment of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri KCR Garu, with his support and his unstinted encouragement, we have developed a robust innovation ecosystem that comprises of institutions such as NCAM, the National Center for Additive Manufacturing, T-Hub, which is the world's largest technology incubator, TSIC, the Telangana State Innovation Cell, V-Hub, exclusively focused on women entrepreneurship, RICH, the Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad, which tries to bring about a synergy between industry and academia, TASK, the Telangana Institute, Telangana Academy for Skills and Knowledge, and T-Works, which is India's largest prototyping facility. And of course, our Emerging Technologies Wing and Image Center of Excellence. Image Center of Excellence stands for Innovation in Multimedia, Animation, Gaming and Entertainment. More than 1,500 startups have received support in the form of mentorship from the various institutions that I've just mentioned. Incubations and industry connects, and between all of these, they've been able to raise more than 1,800 crores of rupees over the last 5 years. T-Works, India's largest prototyping center, has also been set up in the state and it is already functional. It is also an initiative of Government of Telangana to create and celebrate a culture of hobbyists, makers and innovators who explore and experiment without the fear of failure. Our Hyderabad-based startup, which was in the news recently, a company called Skyroot Aerospace, has successfully launched India's first private rocket powered by a 3D printed engine. The 3D printed superalloy engine has helped to cut production time by 95%, which is a matter of great pride for all of us. NCAM, the National Center for Additive Manufacturing, has been set up a technology development center of Osmania University, which is the oldest university in our state. Incidentally, NCAM has completed its first year of operation today and has achieved significant milestones over the last 12 months. The CEO, Shri Jaspreet Sidhu, in fact, I keep calling him Jaspreet Bumrah, Jaspreet Sidhu, by mistake here. I'm sure you're faster than him. Was hired during May this year, and under his guidance, the center has evolved well in terms of onboarding strategic partners, drafting a clearly defined roadmap and charter, attracting talented human resources, and getting all major global players excited to explore Hyderabad as a future destination for expansion within India. The center, in partnership with the industry, has worked hard to promote awareness in the country, enable more users to adopt additive technologies, skill development of identified resources, and initiated establishing guidelines and standards forming the backbone for growth of the sector in our country. NCAM is managed by Emerging Technologies Wing of Telangana government, which always ensures that path-breaking technologies are given their due attention and programs are undertaken as per our framework, as per the requirements of the market. Telangana government has undertaken several projects that leverage emerging technologies, and they have always been the first of its kind of projects in India. And each of these projects are undertaken with the spirit of startups, industry as a partner, and not just as a service provider. From quick approvals to rapid brainstorming and problem-solving sessions, the government has always acted as an agile corporation. In addition to these projects, the government has always put in dedicated efforts in overall development of the ecosystem and enabling innovation and growth for the emerging technologies. Since the ecosystem mandate is larger, the government has been setting up dedicated institutions in partnership with industry bodies to augment our capacities in these programs. Now, we see 3D printing as a prime focus area over the next decade or so. The 3D printing industry, in terms of hardware, software, as well as post-processing equipment, is at an inflection point of accelerated growth. With the national reforms supporting the increased participation of the private sector in 3D printing industry, the Telangana state shall be supporting the innovation that is bound to occur. In the past, we have seen several foreign private players amaze the world with technological advancements, but we know that majority of them are supported by brilliant Indian scientists and engineers. But now is the time technology that is developed by Indians is built in our own country and then exported globally for providing solutions for the rest of the world as well. It's time that we occupy a larger share of the 3D printing industry that is expected to grow to almost $65 billion by 2026. Our capital city of Hyderabad is already uniquely positioned to become a hub for 3D printing industry, and with the kind of synergies that exist with the aerospace and defense ecosystem, the medical devices industry here, and of course in helping achieve synergies with the global supply chain, we believe that we are ideally poised. With NCAM based at Hyderabad and the initiatives being undertaken, and with the kind of ecosystem that is present here, I'm sure that it would further accelerate our vision to establish not only our state but our country as a globally recognized destination in 3D printing technology. I request the representatives of startups from various parts of the industry and also the various research institutions and academia present here today to look at Telangana government as their partner as they look to build innovative world-class solutions at an accelerated pace. In this journey of the industry, we'll ensure that due support is enabled for all the innovators as we will closely work with them as industry partners. Let us all be ambitious and take the Indian 3D printing sector to newer and greater heights. Thank you. Jai Telangana, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. We really thank KTR Garuji for taking out time of his busy schedule to be present here and AMTECH and motivate the entire ecosystem and motivate us as well as a knowledge sharing platform and building this further and growing it. Sir, please accept this as a token of our love and appreciation. Uh, I would also like to invite Jaspreet to the stage, if I have a permission, sir. We would also like to share our appreciation with Jayesh Ranjan ji. Please appreciate, accept our token of appreciation. We would like to invite APVS Prasad ji, please accept our token of appreciation. Thank you for coming. I also invite Ramadevi ma'am, please accept our token of appreciation. Thank you so much for coming and all your support from you and the NCAM team. Thank you all, and just one last quick minute, and I'd also like to invite Jaspreet and really thank for their support, in helping us build a better show. And I'm sure we're going to go much ahead with this. Please, Jaspreet, accept our token of appreciation. With this, we... Yeah, sure. With this, we bring to an end the inaugural session. Thank you all for joining us and gracing us. We would be continuing with the keynote session where we have expert speakers who will be speaking. KTR Garuji would be leaving because of his time, but